Hi everyone, very good afternoon and welcome back to Crack Grade B. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the previous year question that have been asked in your UPSC EPFO examination, fine. But the focus is little bit tilted towards the schemes today. So today's lecture is going to be a short and sweet lecture, but what we are going to focus in this particular lecture is, see, we have already completed the schemes related videos. I guess few more videos are supposed to come, but mostly we have completed it. So any one of you who want to watch the schemes related to all the ministries, we have covered it comprehensively, right? I don't think so that any question can be asked out of those particular schemes. So that is the depth that for that we have covered it. Now the point of today's lecture is, see, the answers, obviously the same questions might not get repeated. There are very oblique chances that these questions will be repeated, but the point of discussion over here is that what kind of questions can be formed out of the schemes. So the intention of this particular lecture is not to tell you the answers. Obviously, I'm going to discuss the answers as well. But the point is that you should learn how questions can be asked out of the schemes. You are going to see that there will be diverse questions. Somewhere full forms are being asked. Somewhere the scheme related details are being asked. Fine. Somewhere the short form will be given. So I would like to tell you that I am going to take the questions which will be related to the accounts. Accounts related questions we have already covered. Fine. Only that much was there. But for the schemes related lectures, I am going to cover them today. And other questions which are related to your EPFO examinations, they will be covered by the respective faculties who are an expert into that. Fine. So I will not be covering the all of the MCQs or all of the previous year questions. I am only be covering whatever I am teaching. Fine. So let's come back to the topic. Why I am discussing this? Please focus onto the lecture and see that how the question has been formed. So this is going to give you an idea when you are trying to read the scheme. Fine. After that, this is also going to give you the idea that how you should change your style of reading for the schemes. Fine. So the intention is just these two in order to cover those particular schemes. Number one question, let's see this, what it is. So which one of the following facts pertaining to the National Green Tribunal is not correct? Now, one of the mistake that we often make is that we do not read the directive very properly. So whenever the question comes to you, please read the directive very properly because this is important. After that, they have asked you about the NGT. I am very sure that when we discussed about the schemes, right, when we discussed the Ministry of Environment related schemes, we did discuss about the organizations as well. So this is also I want to tell you that if you are watching this particular video, do not forget to watch our schemes related video. In those schemes related video, we have covered all the schemes. At the same time, we have covered the organizations as well. Organizations, relevant acts which are coming under that particular ministry, all that have been covered. So you can you should definitely watch this. Now in the NGT related question, if you see, first option is it was set up in 2010. Next option is the purpose is to ensure effective and expeditious disposal of cases related to environmental protection. This is a very easy guess that yes, it might be correct. Next is it is bound by the procedure laid down under the Code of Civil Procedure. And next is it is guided by the principle of natural justice. Now out of this, if any one of you might have studied the NGT formation or how the NGT has been formed, then it is categorically stated in that NGT always follows the principle of natural justice. It is not bound by the procedure of your civil code, not bound by it. It watches any particular case on its own merits, Fine. So that is why it is bound by the principle of natural justice, not by any civil code. Next question. So what are our learnings from this particular question? The learnings are that if there is any organization under the which organization has remained in the news, there are few organizations which are perennially in the news, like your National Commission for Scheduled Caste, like your Commission for Women. So such kind of organizations, they are always in news, and hence whenever you are reading any particular ministry's schemes, do not forget to at least cover the basic data about the organization about which you are studying. See, if you knew that this is the correct one, fine, the option number 2 is correct one. If you would have read about this organization, you would have easily guessed that yes, 2010 is the right thing and principle of natural justice is the right thing. So you would have gone to your correct option. Now next is, as per Economic Survey 2021, which one of the following will be India's real GDP growth in the year 2021 and 22? Fine. This question has been taken from the Economic Survey. This question is purely memory based. Fine. So you have to memorize the datas as well. Important datas, not every data, but important datas. And one more thing I would like to tell you, no matter how much you cover, there will be certain questions which are sometimes difficult to attempt. Fine, I'll not say that they are impossible to attempt, but they are difficult to attempt. So in that particular case, this is the one of the scenarios. Fine. So no need to discuss the answer of the question, because anyways it is irrelevant and nobody is going to ask it. Next is, which one of the following is acronym for the word Niti in the Niti Aayog? So this question takes us to the point where I was telling you that acronyms, be it in the scheme, be it any kind of the see. Nowadays, the government makes the schemes and there are hundred of acronyms there. So please try to have an eye on to it. If you have been keeping an eye, the options will seem easier for you. So let's see the option. We have been asked that the full form of the NITI, right? So National Integration and Transformation of India, fine. National Institution for Transforming India, National Institution for Technological India, and National Institution for Trust in India. So obviously these two are totally wrong. There is no specific focus on technology or trust. What we are focusing on this. This is my correct answer. National Institution for Transforming India. So although this question was important, but our learning is that whenever you are reading the government schemes, please focus on the acronyms. Fine, the short forms. If you find that okay, this short form might be asked, going forward you are going to see that many short forms have been asked. Fine. These short forms, first of all, why they have been asked? Because they do not give you any idea about the answer. If you know it, then your answer will be correct, otherwise wrong. Next is question number 4. Which one of the following is not a correct description of Namami Gange program? Again, a very important scheme. It is not very, see, there are two things. One scheme, there are such kind of schemes which are very highlighted in the news, right? Because of some controversy or something like that. But there are some schemes which are not very much highlighted in the news, but they remain in news in a low-key affair. So this is what Namami Gange for us. The mission for cleaning Ganga, it has been going on. Sometimes the news comes that yes, we have not achieved whatever our targets were. That is why it always keeps in news. Now let's see what are the options given to us. First of all, it is the initiative of Ministry of Jal Shakti. Fine. Next is, it primarily covers villages in the states of UP, Bihar and Odisha. It aims to make villages on the banks of river Ganga open defecation free. And next is it aims to transform some villages on the banks of river Ganga as Ganga Grams. Now this particular question is a very interesting one. Even if you have not read Namami Gange scheme, let's suppose you have not read about the scheme, still you can solve such questions. How you can solve? See, these two are the generic statements. They are general statements and they are not wrong, because if even if you follow the news, you must be aware that yes, this is the aim of our government. But you see the option number 2. Obviously mission your Namami Gange program is under Ministry of Jal Shakti, but see this option, it primarily covers villages in the state of UP, Bihar and Odisha. Chalo UP, Bihar to samajh mein aata hai, yes, they are situated on the banks of Ganga, but the someone, if they know slightest of geography, they might be knowing that Odisha is nowhere near to Ganga. It is completely on a different trajectory. Fine. So obviously this is a wrong option. And one more thing with that, please focus on the directive. Sometimes we do not focus on the directive. We do not see that the examiner wants to ask a correct one or wrong one. And we just, in a hurry, we make the wrong options selected. Fine. And once you have filled up, then there are no other options. So please be aware about it. And this was just, you can solve it from this common sense. Only common sense was needed in it. Now next is under Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. So one thing is that I have been observing in the UPSC EPFO examination is, in these particular questions, I have not covered such questions which were the directly related to your current affairs. I have not taken them. I have just included the questions which was related to schemes. But there are questions which are pertaining to the places in news. Like, have you heard about Kaladan project? I pronounce it Kaladan, so I have just written the spelling also. Kaladan multimodal project. So this place was in news, and hence it was asked. It was just asked that okay, this particular project is being constructed in which country. This was the easiest question. But I have not included in this section. I'm not talking about the news related questions. I'm just talking about the schemes related question. Now next thing, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. What is the maximum amount that can be deposited during a financial year? Again, this question, this particular scheme has been discussed in the scheme related video of ours. Fine. And this is such a easy question. Even if you just have watched the video once. 1.5 lakhs, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 2.5 lakhs. Can someone give me an answer for this? What is the answer for this? So the next thing that we come across is monetary limits. And when I'm saying monetary limits, I'm not saying that you should memorize the funding also. Funding is not the forte of UPSC EPFO. They are not going for funding related requirements. They just want to have such basic financial data you should be remembering. So answer is 1.5 lakhs. Fine. Next is, what is the minimum and maximum age at which a subscriber can join the Atal Pension Yojana? Now the government has brought in so many kinds of pension yojanas for different sections of our society, like unorganized workers as well as your traders. Fine. So there are so many schemes. But here the question specifically asks about the Atal Pension Yojana, and I will categorize that it is an easy question. Fine. If even if you have heard about Atal Pension Yojana just once, then it would have been easy to remember you that the correct answer is this: minimum age 18 years and maximum age is 40 years respectively. Fine. So Again, what I can say about it, UPSC EPFO examination, they just want that you should be having a little bit fair idea about the schemes. They do not want that you should specialize in schemes or you should go into the detail. Now this particular lecture is specifically for the EPFO examination purpose. That is why I am telling you that how the question related to schemes are structured. They just want you to have a broad understanding of the scheme, right? Like who are eligible, first thing, which is the ministry, next thing. And I always focus in my schemes related lecture that whenever any important organization is being mentioned, you should always look for what is the constitution of that particular organization. For example, whether that organization is a constitutional body, a statutory body, or a executive body. Fine, you should always know about it. Like one other day, we were discussing about the Transgenders Council that has been made under the Transgenders Act. Now, the question directly can ask that what kind of body is this? So, in the examinations which are conducted by the UPSC, they do not want you to go into detail. They just want you to have a broad understanding, and this was one such question. Next is, it is related to Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. In one form or the other, you will find the questions onto it, because again, this is a scheme which remains low key in news. Obviously, there is no calamity or any kind of very big event that is going to happen with relation to that scheme. Like one such scheme is also your Manrega. This always remains into the news, and everything related to this scheme is important. Now let's see Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, what they are asking us. Which one of the following is not an objective? Although the question's formation is like that even if you have not read the directive, you will be able to answer it. Let's see. So first option is providing subsidies to use fertilizers, high yielding varieties and pesticides. Fine. To achieve convergence of investments in irrigation at the field level. Next, to expand cultivable area under assured irrigation and improving farm water use efficiency. Now I'll tell you one thing. See, I know that this is very easy to form the guesses once you know the answer, but still some amount of guesswork you can do. Let's see how we can apply our guesswork into this particular question. Now, to achieve convergence of investments in irrigation at the field level, fine. Increasing cultivable area, farm water use efficiency, all of these are the objectives. They can be the objectives. But see over here, providing subsidies to use fertilizers. Now this had been government's policy back in the 1970s, when government wanted this green revolution to happen, right? At that particular time, government said that please use fertilizers so that the production can be increased. But by looking at right now, we are facing the climate change. Apart from that, there is soil pollution, and there are so many problems in the food chain that are occurring because of the increased use of fertilizers. So this is a problematic area, and why government is going to provide you subsidy for this? Government is never going to provide you a subsidy, which now government wants to stop. If you have seen the budget of 2021 or even 2020, in both of these budgets, government is focusing on the organic farming as well as zero budget natural farming. So government is focusing towards ending the use of fertilizers. Then why government is going to provide you subsidies? There is just no case for it. So this is the wrong option. This is not a constituent. Next is, which one of the following is the name of the scheme introduced as well targeted system of service delivery to LPG customers? Fine. Now here comes again the role of short forms. You are going to see Sehaj, Pehel, Uday, Udan. Right? There are so many short forms given. Now this is your work. Out of this, you can just Remove 2. Udan is not. Uday is related to the discoms, right? Ujjwal discoms yojana, it is related to that. The correct answer here is, now here the guesswork cannot be applied, right? You should know the answer, and that is why I always say that in the schemes, whenever you see there are so many schemes, Sankalp, etc., in short forms. So all such schemes with name, suppose there is a scheme of Sehaj, fine, you have read it somewhere. Now you should make a document, in that you should write that okay, this is the short form and why this is for, this is related to the LPG. Only in 2 words your short notes can be prepared, right? This is for what? In the schemes related document, what I have taught to you, you just have to see that okay, this is the short form, this is the acronym which I might forget. So in order to deal with it, please make a word file in your laptop, right? And even in your paper, at a paper you can also make it. Just write the short form, and aage you just have to write that what this is for. Now this scheme, this particular strategy, it can work for the UPSC EPFO, because we have seen that they are not asking in the detail. Fine. Now the next question that we have is, which one of the following is not a feature of Aadhaar? They are basically focused on more asking which is not. Now only citizens of India are entitled for enrollment under this act. Both demographic and biometric information is to be submitted for enrollment. Unique Identification Authority of India is responsible for enrollment and authentication under this act, and it is a responsibility of Unique Identification Authority to ensure the security of identity of individuals. Now tell me, what is the correct option out of this? This is an supremely easy question. Fine. And Aadhaar Act, all the provisions are important. Any one of you who would like to answer this particular question? Anyways, those of you who are watching this particular lecture afterwards, I want answer for this particular question. This is an easy question, and when you are doing this particular question, anyways, after 24 hours, I am going to mention the answer of this question in the comments as well. But by that time, do me a favor and please go and read the Aadhaar Act 2016, the major provisions of it, because we can never neglect the Aadhaar Act. I have not covered this into my schemes video as of now, but I will surely and definitely will be covering that. So please go and read this on your own. I am going to provide you the answer of it after 24 hours. Or if I will be coming with the video tomorrow, then I'll discuss the answer of it. Now next is Panchayat extension to the Scheduled Areas Act 1996 permits self-governance of natural resources by. A very latest on our videos, we have discussed this particular act, right? Why this particular act has been made, for whose benefit. This particular act was made for the benefit of your tribals, and under this particular thing, now this question is of a type, if you know it, then you know it. No guesswork can work over here, and the correct answer is your Gram Sabha. Fine. So say governance for natural resources has been provided to the Gram Sabha. No Gram Panchayat chairman or forest dwellers, etc. No such options are existence over here. Next is question number 11. See, I will be giving you few of the questions in the homework. You have to tell me in the comment section that what is the correct answer, and by that time you find the correct answer, please also read whatever questions I am giving you for the homework. The intention is that you go and read about them, because they are important from the upcoming examination perspective as well. Fine. And correct answers obviously I am going to provide you. Next is, which one of the following scheme is aimed at all-round development of adolescent girls in the age group of 11 to 18 years and making them self-reliant. Now, why they have been given in the short form? Because in one such short forms lies the answer. So this is the correct scheme, and for this any kind of reading also is not required. If you just have watched any particular scheme related video, or if you have been following any current affairs, then it is so easy to guess that Rajiv Gandhi Yojana, also called as Sabla Yojana, this is for the adolescent girl, empowerment of the adolescent girls. Fine. Next is our scheme on Stand Up India program. It envisages that each bank branch should give loan between 10 to 100 lakhs to at least one SC/ST borrowers, okay, to at least one women borrower, and to at least one rural unemployed youth borrower. Now this is again a easy question to guess. Women and SC/ST का तो समझ में आता है, they both are disadvantaged sections of our society, but to at least one rural unemployed youth borrower, this is not the correct one. Fine. So this is not an option that has been provided, and this is why the correct option lies is 1 and 2. Okay. Lastly, we have which of the following is a statutory machinery functioning at the central level? Central Implementation, Central Board for Workers Education, Standing Labour Committee, ESIC. So the same thing, I have repeated it frequently, that you have to read about how the bodies are being constituted, their constitution. Fine. So ESIC is a statutory body. Fine. The Central Implementation Committee, Workers' Education, Standing Labour Committee, these are not the statutory bodies, but ESIC is a statutory body. So whenever you are reading any particular organization, please know that if any particular body, this has been formed under ESI Act. If any body has been formulated under a statutory act or a act by the parliament, then it becomes a statutory body. Fine. So with that, you must have, these were the questions that were pertaining to the examination which was held in 2021 as well as 2017. Fine. These were the schemes related question. I hope you must have got some insight onto it. If you did, then please do not forget to like this video. And tomorrow we'll be discussing few of the more questions. So thank you so much for joining in.